previous plant was operating in the old building, what was your experience then in terms of... What was your experience then, and we'll get that mic turned on.
We had no previous issues, so just to count back, if we've been there 20 years now, we were there 17 years with no issues at all. The majority of the plant we can't see, but we are very well aware of the aerator. I listened to part of the hearing last week about the decommissioning of the part up further up the hill, but I don't know when that was decommissioned, and I don't even remember hearing any problems or noise. You sometimes would see people up there doing bits and pieces or see cars go up, but no, one of the attractions of the property was, because I'd moved in from Waimumu, was it was on town water supply and there was no neighbour as such.
Yeah.
So your peace and tranquility and enjoyment of your own property has been affected?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Visually as well as...
Visually as well?
Yeah.
Do you think that could be, the visual effect could be overcome or substantially reduced by screening planting?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so you'd be in favour of some screening?
Yes.
What time of the day is the noise most evident or disturbing to you?
Sorry, I just a little bit distracted there, but it's all good. At the moment, we aren't troubled too much because I believe the treatment plant, because there's no water.
There is water, but it's not running at full capacity, yes.
Thank you. Not particularly aware of any issues that are problemsome anyway. We sometimes hear, at the time of the biggest problem, there was a lot of low frequency noise and it was like sleeping next to a washing machine.
Yep.
You can imagine that. But at the moment, because we're double glazed that room, there's nothing that's disturbing us right now.
There has been an attempt by the council to mitigate the initial noise effect, putting the, I think it's a fan inside a soundproof box,
Yes.
and modifications to the top of the aerator, bearing in mind that it's only running at about 60 capacity. Have those measures been successful?
I believe they have, but to be fair, we don't know what's been success because I believe there were 3 operations done at once, which is fantastic.
Oh, yep.
There was the fence put up,
Yep.
there was the holes on top. I'm no engineer.
Yeah, the covers.
And I think there was insulation.
A big box, a fan was placed in a big box.
So they were great, but I'm not sure. We don't know at what capacity it's running when. Yeah. I am aware of John Stiles' report.
Yep.
From Marshall Day talking about 35 and 40 decibels.
So bearing in mind that as I understand, the plant is only running at 60% capacity, the noise level at the moment is acceptable to you and Tony?
Yes, at the moment.
But if it was to increase, it would no longer be acceptable.
Potentially, yeah. We're keeping an open mind.
Okay.
To be fair, this process has been dragging on 2 years. We've acted in good faith. We didn't ask questions in the beginning, but we moved
I think you have acted in good faith, and we thank you for that. And, you know, we acknowledge that.
Thank you.
So, Andrea, if it was screened and you couldn't see the aerator from your house, and also the sound was kept at 60% of capacity,
Yeah,
that would please you?
absolutely. Yeah, I acknowledge that it was a water treatment plant before the property was bought in about 2004, and I had no qualms with that whatsoever. Yeah.
Tell me, if so we've got about 8 metres to the boundary. So I guess from the wooden fence to the boundary, which is coming down a hill, I'm wondering how practical it is to provide screening of something that goes a long way up, and
Let alone growing of its plants.
yeah, and on a bank, how stable is it? You guys, did you dig into the bank at all?
Not anywhere near that. We widened the driveway slightly, but.
Right. What were the ground conditions like?
Clay rock.
Right.
Yeah, that's, yeah, solid as.
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of hoping, didn't want to see landscaping done that actually created some instability. Is shading a potential problem? Where does the sun rise and set?
It rises behind the house and sets in front of it. Sorry.
In relation to the tower,
Yeah,
that would be, from your house, would be facing north? Northeast?
yes.
Northwest.
Northwest?
Hocken.
Rising in the east. Where it's
Okay, let's
There's shading.
I
It's-
don't believe that it would affect our house. I do think that with the height of the aerator and the 40 metres distance from our house, bearing in mind those trees that are there, and specifically looking last week about how much shade they are into that paddock, I think we would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
If and I'm thinking of the narrow range, the narrow distance. If is there anything to be gained, or do you see any advantage if some of the landscaping was done on your land?
I would have to speak to Tony, but I couldn't see an issue. Yeah, we just grazed that up.
Yeah. So it may be a better outcome in terms of the visual impact is achieved if planting is done there, which kind of leads on to, I guess, the conditions of consent that are recommended suggest that a landscape plan be done. And I think it's important that you and Tony actually have the opportunity of having input into that plan. So if confirmed, I see a condition that says a landscape plan be prepared within a certain amount of time, using species that are going to reach maybe 5 metres of height in a short period of time, which may mean they need to put in plants that are 1 or 2 metres high to start with, so good sized plants, not little wee things, 1/2 a metre or whatever high. And if as part of the discussions that take place, there's ability to actually do some planting on your site, that may be benefit to you if you see it. So just something to think about. There's no commitment at this stage, but I think we can flag that as something that the council should be looking at.
That whole paddock, you know how we talked about the 3 fences today, the section behind the house, right up to the house, is really, really rocky. Like, I have tried to plant shrubs near our house, like right behind the sleep out, and nothing really has taken over 20 years because the ground, it's like there's no soil.
Yeah.
There's just clay.
Yeah. So no doubt there are plants that
Like that.
will grow in that type of, yeah, probably very well. But it's, and I guess the other aspect of it is that, yeah, and that's why I was asking about the sun, because the higher up it goes, the greater the impact, and certainly don't want to do anything that adds to dampness in the house as well.
Yeah.
So I think that that's something that can move on. And you may or may not wish to answer the following question. What outcome do you hope for out of this process?
Good question, and hard to speak on behalf of Tony as well. I'm not happy about our legal fees. Throw that in straight in there. And probably to have things as they were before, like visually, if there is reduced impact from the aerator, and if the noise is under control, we get to the position we originally were in, and we were happy with that. Yeah.
This is a difficult question for you to answer, but only you can answer it. Where do you think the noise is coming from, and would you like to describe the noise?
Yes. The noise was definitely coming from the aerator. Yeah. The rest of the plant we can hardly see. Even if I walk up to our boundary, as in if we've had an animal go next door, I've done that. I've even actually walked onto the council property through the fence, and you need to be well onto it before you can even see the roof of most of the other infrastructure. It's definitely the aerator, and it's in the early few days particularly, we're 95% sure we could feel vibration, and it was like sleeping next to a washing machine. There was like a whooshing noise, and there was low frequency noise. Yeah, this close to dishwasher or washing machine. Yeah.
And that's somewhat been mitigated by the noise measures to date.
Correct, bearing in mind that I believe that it's only been working at 60%.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that the noise,
Yeah.
it's gone, no problem, yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm just wondering, do you think the noise is coming from the top of it, or the big fan that it is the bottom in the steel encasement? Because when we were up there and listening to the sound, it seemed to be coming from the one on the ground, not up the top.
Good question. I'm not sure. Yeah, because both of them were mitigated at the same time. Yeah, and since then it's only been going at 60%, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Does much activity take place on the site at night?
No. Well, not people-wise anyway. I sometimes see the light on, but it doesn't worry us. I guess it's for security.
Where's the light?
I guess it's at the front of the building on site. Sometimes we see it reflecting on a tree. Maybe an animal's gone past.
Not the old building, the new one.
No, the new one.
Right,
Yeah.
so there's no direct lights shining
No.
your way, and you wouldn't want them to either?
Not particularly.
No.
But no, we have there's no people really coming or going. Even during the day, we're not really bothered by it. At the moment, like, we never raised any concern during construction or anything. And to be fair, we weren't particularly impacted at all. I know some neighbours were by light and traffic movement, but we weren't.
Mm-hmm.
It was only because you could see from our driveway how close it kind of all really is, and we were well aware of the aerator being constructed. and we were aware of that, just seeing people, but we watched it go up, but otherwise no impact at the time.
So tell us about the subdivision consent,
Yeah.
and what your vision is for development of the vacant land you've got at present.
Yeah. So buying Talbot Street was a future retirement plan for Tony and myself. We're both in our 50s and we are looking to retire in our 60s, and it was kind of a buy and hold opportunity at the time because we realised its future value with the town expanding. We also own rental properties between us and as a separate business, and we're aware of the poor rental supply or first homes available for sale in Goa and the growing population with various industry around. And we consulted, we have engaged Clark Fortune to do our subdivision consent for the first part of our plan. Part A is all we're progressing with so far, and that is splitting the house and the 5-bay shed off into one title, and at the same time sectioning off 5 properties at front onto Wentworth Street to put flats or housing on as a mixture of sell and buy and keep.
So, Andrea, the visibility from where you're planning to subdivide and build, will that be the same as for you, or is there less visibility?
There'll be less visibility because the houses will be further away.
And therefore less sound annoyance as well?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah.
I have a sibling that lives on Wentworth Street, not far from her. Like, I can look into her house, and so I've seen it from that perspective. Yeah, the aerator would be further away, and just thinking about the lining up, the closest property I believe, sort of in a straight line, like we definitely wouldn't be building closer than what we are now. Yeah. One house might be near a fence line, but it won't be proximity, it won't be within 40 metres of the aerator. Although that aerator stands out all over East Score.
And beyond.
Yeah, it's like the water tower. Yes, it's an interesting structure. I should mention, because I didn't answer your question, the consent has been in for about 7 months, I believe, and we've got Clark Fortune and Brett Giddens working on that, and there's just some minor details that are needed to be provided, I believe, and we're expecting to have that consent in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Apart from your legal fees, has this issue produced any other costs to yourselves that you think otherwise wouldn't have occurred?
Maybe lost opportunities with our time. We're both really busy, involved in a lot of things, and other than sleep and frustration, as in the sleep when it first occurred, because it really was, 60 decibels is a whole lot louder than 40. And just a lot of time, it's been 2 years now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in today. I think the discussions we've had here today have been very helpful of informing us about the actual history, facts of the site, and our understanding of where your concerns lie. It's good to get stuff in writing that talks about it, but it's even better to have the person in front and having this type of discussion. So thanks for coming in today. It's greatly appreciated. Now, in terms of timing moving forward, this is one of a number of hearings relating to the district plan that go through till March, April next year. And it'll probably be several months after that before decisions are released. We, as a panel, have the delegation to issue a decision, and yourselves and the council have a right of appeal to the Environment Court over that decision, as probably Brett has taken you through. But the council itself doesn't have the power to say, when we're about to issue a decision, we don't like it, we want to change it. So they also must go through the legal process. So everyone is on the same foot. And really all the information that we've received we treat with equal value in terms of the technical reports, the advice that we get, plus the submissions and material from you. So again, thank you very much, and I'll draw this hearing to a conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you. I did want to clarify about who makes a decision, so, and the right of appeal.